everybody, before you watch the video, make sure you follow the page, like the video. Hope you enjoy.
But I think if you do have a high level, like you already done for a long time something, it's much easier for you to feel
and make an assessment.
And make the assessment super quick, and then cater to that person. And even, for example, I used to say that for me the most scary people to train with are the beginners.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where the elbow is gonna go. You don't know where the movement is.
They don't know.
They don't
know.
Because they don't know exactly. So it's so unpredictable that it's actually unsafe. But so I train with them, just basically protecting me. You know what I mean? Like I just don't want to get hurt. So, but that level of like perception, I think you achieve with time.
Yeah.
Just like another question to do with like the competition stuff. Did you start doing jiu-jitsu while you were already training judo, or only after you had come back to Australia after competing?
So I have done some cross training.
Yeah.
So when I lived in the UK, I lived in a full-time judo facility, but we had jiu-jitsu guys that came in and trained a couple of nights a week.
To try and learn?
No, like they had their own gym. That they would come in and their gym trained a couple of nights when judo finished.
I see.
I think that was the first time I was exposed to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So they just let us come in and and train with them. And it was really different. Like back then I was like, it was
what is
a whole
crazy
different
stuff?
sport. In judo we have very minimal time on the ground. Like if you're not progressing, you get stood up straight away. And
whereas they spend the whole time there.
Like I remember my very first roll in jiu-jitsu, and I got into guard and the guy just sat there with his legs crossed, and like he was like slowly setting things up, but I didn't know that. I was like, because for us, like any position we get into, it's like, okay, quickly try and progress or I'm going to get stood up. And even when like at training, our Mayweather like groundwork rounds are shorter because we are like, we're generally a little bit faster. And I was like, what's he doing? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like it was really, I would just confronted like with, it's really different. Like you have more time to set things up, and that's what you said before. Like there's a whole world of techniques and things that I've just never been exposed to in judo, because it's, for me it was, okay, find 3 or 4 techniques that
That'd
you
be my
love.
next question.
Yeah, so you've got like 3 or 4 techniques that you love, and we just drill that over and over and over
a sniper,
from every position possible. And so now I'm like, wow, there's like all these
so
things
diverse.
I have no idea what to do.
Just one other question, like going back a little bit, what was it like living at that facility? So going there at 18, right?
Yeah, so I moved over just before my 18th birthday. The year I turned 18 was the year I went to the Olympics. And that was the year I made the decision, if I want to be competitive, like what's the difference? You want to go to the Olympics or do you want to win a medal? And I could make the Olympics, but I didn't want to go for the experience. I actually wanted to represent myself there. And so I made the decision to move that year and have the best possible lead up to the Olympics. And just before I turned 18 there, actually I moved over, and my new housemates helped me celebrate my 18th birthday. And it was awesome. Like it was such a cool opportunity, and living with like-minded people that it was ridiculous at times. Like we are tired and we're all cutting weight at the same time. And, it gets a bit feral, but it was also, you make lifelong friends, because you've had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows together. And
one thing that I found really amazing, when you're actually sharing the same like
goals as somebody else,
in the same outside of the gym. I remember vivid, like we used to train and go to some of our friends' house and stay there, and we used to exchange techniques and talk about, when you swept me, we used to go in the middle of the carpet and one show, like share a lot of techniques as well when you staying together.
There's good good and bad things. Like,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, definitely.
It's competition between each
Do you
other.
Yeah.
think judo is this is actually one observation I had. Do you think judo is a little bit different? My
Yeah.
experience with judo, I had a long experience with judo, but I found that judo guys they're not as willing to share as jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I found that that was a very
Yeah.
different for me
Yeah.
in terms of
Yeah.
in that aspect.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu has been, what we talked before about people like hanging out after class
Yeah,
and
yeah.
friends. It's a really different atmosphere. Like there are, there's every club's different. There's clubs which are just recreational, and then there's clubs that have killers, and there's clubs that have a bit of both. But jiu-jitsu, like regardless of, the actual atmosphere of the gym, everyone I find like jiu-jitsu is just different. It's, everyone loves it, and everyone wants to see each other progress, and like I'm sure it's not everybody and it's not every gym, but it's quite, like that's the jiu-jitsu community.
Yeah,
is
the lifestyle,
just
the vibe.
a
of it,
lot.
for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly, lifestyle. And judo's not. My experience of judo isn't like that. Like it's very like I remember growing up and like girls like not liking each other because we're in the same weight class. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
I had the same. I had an
it's-
experience as well. I was in a university team in judo, and this guy used to take me down, the same technique over and over.
Yeah.
And I was showing a couple ground things,
Yeah.
and I said to the guy, "Man, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh
Yeah.
man, like they don't
Yeah.
want to show you." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I think the mentality behind the jiu-jitsu aspect is that if I show you, right, you know how to defend. I'm gonna have to get better.
Yeah.
So I'll help you get better. You actually gonna make
Yeah.
me get better. So it's gonna
Yeah.
evolve together.
I think I don't know whether this is real or not. For me, it was judo was quite small in Australia, and for me trying to qualify for the Olympics. And yeah, it's definitely, I think back for myself, I remember I was kind of being told, like, don't tell people your tricks. And inside of, yeah, I want to beat everybody, and I want you to be the best competition for me as you can be, because I don't want to win it just, I don't want it handed to me.
Yeah.
I want to be the best of the best, but I also have a goal, and I want to be an Olympian, and I want to, so I don't necessarily want to then teach people how to beat me.
Yeah.
And then when you've decided, you kind of, once I realized that I was, wanting to be international and not just being the best in Australia, and able to kind of be proud of where I was, then I probably shared a little bit more here, because I was, okay, now this is where I'm here now. I'm
You've
not,
elevated your goal. Yeah.
And then being an adult and maybe removing myself from judo now, I'm like, yeah, I'll teach everyone judo, because I want you to love judo too.
I would just say one thing. I think that's probably that train of thought is more to do with, rather than what you were saying about how people share to make each other improve. People do jiu-jitsu for lifestyle.
Yeah.
People do.
Yeah, once you're competitive,
people
yeah.
do judo and boxing and
Yeah.
kickboxing to be a world champion.
Yeah.
There's two reasons why you do boxing and kickboxing: to be a world champion or to be a thug. People don't come to jiu-jitsu to be a thug. People come to jiu-jitsu for a lifestyle and to have fun.
Yeah.
That's why there's a completely different attitude towards helping each other
Yeah.
and competition.
Yeah.
Only 1%, 2% of people compete
Yeah,
when they
no,
do
that makes
jiu-jitsu.
sense.
We
The people that do judo, boxing, kickboxing seriously, they have a much higher likelihood of being a competitor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're talking about people that are literally, their whole goal is to be better than everybody
Yeah.
else. Why the hell would I share my technique?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah. Jiu-jitsu is very different in that scenario.
Yeah.
The people that compete is only a very, very small portion of people. So that's why you find everyone's much more open. That's why you can go, like we've talked with all the 29 people that we've had on the podcast, is you can go to Germany and go to a gym, random gym, come in and go, hey, what's up, da-da-da, and you can train with no problems.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to do that with boxing or judo. You're not just going to turn up to someone's gym randomly. If you're a real competitor and there's another real competitor there,
They
you're going
don't
to
wanna
say,
share those
hey,
secrets.
wait a second, no, we might fight in the future. I'm not
Yeah.
training with you.
It's also,
It's a difference.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you haven't yet already, make sure you subscribe, like, and again, go and check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, like all our platforms. Give us a follow at bjj.101 on Instagram, and go and check out bjj101.com.au to access the full video library.